Shut up, Mayegun don't come, Mayegun the command of the masses, Mayegun don't come, Mayegun they are the political, Mayegun don't come, this one not they off in mind, Mayegun don't come, person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Mayegun don't come. My people make you shout. Mayegun don't come. Mayegun the command of the masses. Mayegun don't come.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Lórí YouTube, Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Happy Sunday to you too.
Mayegun number one. Àṣírí.
Thank you so much for joining me. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends.
Àní Mayegun máa wí.
Invite your not so friendly friends.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wá.
And tell them, Mayegun today.
Mayegun diary.
Read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well. Like the broadcast. Share it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Yes.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé.
You know it is Sunday sermon. It is a no holds bar session. If you have a very light skin, soft, thin skins, don't watch this broadcast. If you are politically correct, don't watch this broadcast. If you are a one Nigerianist, don't watch this broadcast. If you are a unity beggar, stay away. Buhari Dins, Buhari the Derins, Buhari the Notus, Buhari the Jatus, Buhari Shukus, Ungos Yaris, Uneka Aris, stay away.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Olu, the Jaga bandit, was running away from interview invitations in America. He cannot face any camera without his interpreters beside him. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun Live. You see, I could have probably done this earlier, but I just felt like I will keep it for the night, the prime time. I mean, when the news broke that, there is a report, have you laid your hands on it? I said, what's the report? They said, have you seen Tinubu or Tinubu's entourage appeared on the major media platforms in America? I said, well, I don't know. They didn't. They said that they were going to meet with Joe Biden. And there was actually an arrangement in their heads that they were going to be at the White House yesterday. But they said since Kolu arrived in America, in case if you are wondering why is the media not getting him or asking him questions, no, they always keep him away from them. They will never leave him alone. Meanwhile, they said because the Nigerian Tinubu's government, they made everybody believe that he's coming to America is to come and sell Nigeria in a way that every given opportunity, it will be available to just tell the Nigeria story, including the forbidden one about his Chicago record, about his heroin trafficking record. So they said CNN approached Tinubu and they invited him for a one-on-one interview. I decide of the United Nations General Assembly. Now, you know one thing, right? Usually, if to say you have a real president, for example, right? And not these rogues who are looking for validation everywhere. So if you have a real president who wants to, like you have heard Kenya, South Africa, and then, well, these two, I listened to them. And on the side of the United Nations General Assembly meeting, I still saw some of them meeting, making bilateral deals, settling disputes here and there. And the medias are there. But Kolu is always sandwiched by his babysitters. So they said they asked them that they have some questions for Nigeria president. So they invited him to interview. And it has to be between CNN and Kolu. You know that one that they will put microphone, a earpiece in their ear, and Kolu will be linked to the studio of CNN. No. They brought their cameras. They were going to have this side, interview with him. Omo, they said, no. It's not granting any interview. CNBC, I mean, what's that one of these your biggest TV stuff in America? CNBC, Abi? CNBC, CBS, Fox News, Houston News, New York News, all of them, they sent interview invitation to Kolu, the new controversial president of Nigeria. Baba, wọ́n pe Kolu Ronnie. Kolu will not go to anywhere that you are going to leave him alone. I mean, no teleprompter, no passing of papers and all of that. Just him in front of CNN. Some of you would have suffered serious heart attack from the embarrassment. So ask yourself, how come even when Bokwari went to America, the illiterate Megadi Bokwari, he gave interview to CNN. The interview to this German media, DW. Is that not what they are called? This German media, DW. Bokwari gave interview. Even if he was going to say nonsense, you get, he was still there to say something. Kolu, this whole thing started from when they took him to France. What they wanted to show you is the fact that he's taking pictures with people so that they can then write all the lies of what never happened. Okay? The conversation that Kolu never had. So they will then write jargons. And they will say, all these people were so mesmerized when they saw Kolu. Omo, they said he was running away from interview. And some people were asking, where was Akuri Nigalailai, the one that has replaced Layamo and Femi Additional? So the bottom line is this, okay? The same style of basement campaign that they used, the one that he never told any of you how he was going to save you from the calamity, the Armageddon, that Bokuwari dipped you all in. He never said anyhow he was going to do it. In most places he went, he was either there dancing or just kind of abusing the other contestants. So this is the time that you will wish you really have a president that will actually hold a live interview, a real conversation. The person that they can ask questions and they can answer them. Not somebody who is like, a house. I wanted to say a beautiful house. Okay? But the light is on, but nobody is at home. Somebody said that on this platform. So to save from the embarrassment, that's exactly how they are going to. You see, even in Nigeria, they will never allow him to face any camera and answer question without crashing everything. He is so worse that those his own handlers, they would never, for any reason, put him alone in a room with an interviewer, ever. They would rather put up a show, that kind of show whereby all of his praise singers, the ass lickers, they are all present. Do you understand? And they are there. When he's like, they will clap. When he say any kind of nonsense, they will clap so as to make him feel better. Those are the only spectacles they will be putting up for you. Sure you get. But where is, if they are looking for, we all know that Kolu is looking for serious legitimacy. All right? And where do you think for them to put together resources, pack over 90 people with 3 different presidential jets, and they ferry them to America? Okay? So, looking for validation. Then you have the chance where CNN is asking to interview you. You say, no, I don't want to talk to CNN. Fox News, hey, Nigeria president would like to interview you. We've heard so much about you and we would like to hear them directly from you. When would you like us to make that happen? No, Foxy. So any question you want to ask him, come and ask us. And Americans, and they are like, no. If we really want to ask you questions about your entourage and all of that, we would have asked one of you guys. No, we want to speak directly to the president himself. It is a normal thing. It's an opportunity for you to tell the American audience that you are good. Then the world that listen, I am now in charge. These are the reforms I want to do. And this is how I'm going to go about them. Do you understand? Like, you'll be listening on, even if you are lying, at least you must have something upstairs. Call you no get anything upstairs. That is why the way they have, if you look at the way all of them speak, they love to use buzzwords, like big words, so that it will sound like they are intelligent. Absolute empty cans. They will say, I want pangolo dede. They ran away. They can't let him face the world. He is a disgrace. They wanted to ask him about his Chicago record. And you know, whatever you see on those American platforms, you don't enter and be that too. Sure, you know. So they didn't want to risk it. They just wanted gatherings where Kolu is going to be sandwiched by these babysitters. Do you understand? No intelligent or intellectual conversation at all, other than blala, bulu, bulu, bala. As bad as some of you see Joe Biden, especially those of you who are not probably Democrats in America. I'm talking about your politics in America now, okay? As much as you see Joe Biden, whatever you see him as, to the standard of you in America, when you look at Tinubu, that even Joe Biden, they avoid them. You get that? The same way Donald Trump avoided Bukwari until they told Donald Trump the Mugu is currently with about $500 million from his country. He wants to buy weapons from us. Oh, really? And he has the cash? Yes, he has the cash. Really? Nigeria. I thought it's a shito country. I was like, yeah, it is, but they have cash. But this Bukwari was going for second term. They needed the validation that Bukwari is sound, is okay. So after coming back as a vegetable from London, so they boxed him inside the same presidential jet with $500 million in tow. Few or the Washington. All it took Donald Trump was just to take pictures with him. Immediately, they left the picture or whatever. He decided to have a chat with Bukwari. You know Donald Trump, is who he is. He is who he says he is, Abi. Immediately he started talking. They realized that, who is this Dumbo? Did you say this guy is actually like a president? I said, that's president of Nigeria. Really? This is part of what the Democrats used in chasing Donald Trump at the time, that he called Nigeria a shithole. And he called Bukwari lifeless. So if you are hearing lifeless Bukwari, it was Donald Trump that said, don't ever let that lifeless thing near me again. They said he said it like, just like that. So one of them who picked the conversation said, oh, Donald Trump called some African countries like Nigeria shithole. And they have this lifeless president. Like, Bukwari was so lifeless. Like, there's no life in him. Remember, he was just recovering from that, the whole transplanting and the whole changing of his entire body parts that time from London. When he became this lifeless Bukwari at the time. So it was Donald Trump. They bundled him there to go and give him $500 million for Tucano Jersey. Even though they took $1 billion. That's a true story, by the way. Bukwari took $1 billion from the Nigerian excess crude account in 2018. And they bundled him to America to hand $442 million to the American government for Tucano jet to fight terrorism in Nigeria. Meanwhile, they actually got the jet to bomb the eastern part of Nigeria, not to fight any terrorists eventually. But when they told Nigeria, how much did it cost you to buy all the Tucano jet? They said it cost them over $600 million. So what happened to the remaining money from the $1 billion you took? Till today, nobody knows what happened to the remaining money that they took in 2018 for those Tucano jets. So they had to take money to go and bribe for photo op with American president for validation. This is the same lifeless Tinubu, that they have now, what do you call it? Pablo Escobar, lifeless Tinubu, Ojo Pagogo. They bundled him to America. And they are pushing him about like a grandpa that is taking a break from the old people's home, from the hospice where they are kind of taking care of him. Hey, daddy, come here. Daddy, sit down. Oh yeah, daddy, smile. How are you? How was your flight? When did you arrive? Oh, I arrived yesterday. Yesterday. Oh, same time. We arrived same time. I arrived yesterday too. Then he started looking about. So somebody needs to start the conversation. So, Mr. President, I am Ramaphosa from South Africa. Oh, yeah. They told me when you were coming in, they told me that I have a visitor, the president of South Africa. How are you? When did you arrive? Yesterday. Oh, okay. I arrived yesterday too. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you, sir. Mr. President, let us take pictures for. Oh, all right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Let's take pictures. How are you? Oh, Mr. President, come. This is the Minister for Interior. This is Minister for Defense, South Africa. How are you? Then he will go and sit down. Then when you start talking, they'll say, oh, did you mention something about investing? Oh, come to Nigeria. Come and invest in Nigeria. Okay? I am the president of Nigeria. Okay? I assure you, come to Nigeria. Is that dumb? I'm not making it up. Be grateful to me that I could use my own imagination to tell you what day-to-day life is like for Tinubu, no matter how much of the packaging. You may not see it, fine. That is why they are hiring more people to work in their media. Go and check all of them. And see the number of people they are appointing to speak for them. This one, media aid. This one, media aid. Media aid on newspaper. Media aid on Sun newspaper. Special advisor on the daily newspaper. The special advisor to the president on the Nation newspaper. Special advisor to the president on Twitter, Nigeria. Special advisor to the president on Twitter, Nigeria diaspora. Special advisor to the president on TikTok, on Instagram. Special advisor. Everywhere they needed somebody to help and continue to deceive you. That, oh, this is what the government is trying to do. But ask the government, oh yeah, come and tell us what you are trying to do. Wala madeni. Wala masheleni. Abi? So I can tell you, they won't leave him. At a point, you remember when Bokwari first started, Bokwari will be talking, any small thing. Meanwhile, whenever Bokwari say anything, it was always like Bokwari hated Nigeria and hated Nigerians. You remember those times that it got to a point that people were like, they have to stop him from even speaking to the press. That every time he says something, it's just going to get people more angrier. If he's not calling you lazy, he will call you people who are like so unreliable. Okay? Sometimes he will call you corrupt. He will call you thieves. He will blame Nigerians for almost everything but his government. That it got to a point that people were like, stop him from talking. So that's exactly what happened during Bokwari time. They stopped him from talking. To the point that people started missing him. Where is he? There are 25 people killed in Sokoto. 200 people kidnapped. The presidency has ordered the military to bring back the girls. There is a terrorist attack in Kelbio. They have killed 100 farmers. Bokwari expressed shock. He has ordered the military to bring back those that were kidnapped. It got to that stage that people were like, did you vote for presidency or you voted for president? Bokwari had to disappear from Nigerians. He disappeared. But whenever he reappeared, it is to get Nigerians angrier and angrier because he is so unmoved. He got to a stage whereby it was as if, well, it was much more like they hated Nigerians. I mean, I remember that time. I mean, that time very well because I covered all the time. So Bokwari disappeared. They had to use the basement campaign strategy. Okay, for Tinubu, rigged the election, did all of that. and they are looking for validation today. The same Tinubu cannot face international media that they are paying so much money to say good things about him. They are paying a lot of them to say good things about Nigeria. Okay? In this, their campaign for validation, they are going to pay the same CNN. They're going to pay them millions of dollars. They are going to pay the same American, European media. They are going to pay them millions of dollars of Nigeria money for image laundering. They will be trying to sell Tinubu as if to say something is really happening, because he himself will never be able to say them. I mean, somebody way bad. That Atifku did, well, Atifku's people, they did 10 lies of Bokwa, of Tinubu in 3 months. There are many of those lies that you have heard though. 117 days, 10 lies, greatest lies or needless lies. Do you understand? One of them, I list them. Atifku actually put them out. They said the first lie that was told by Bola Tinubu was in his inaugural speech, when he stated that petrol subsidy is gone, with oil prices now at $94 per barrel, and Naira exchange at $1,000, 1,000 Naira to $1. So according to, they said the price of diesel has risen to about 1,000 Naira per liter, while petrol remains at about 620 Naira. Okay. So the second one, meanwhile, now they've discovered that Tinubu has returned to start paying subsidy. In August alone, Tinubu and his criminal gang, they've already paid 169 billion Naira for August subsidy alone, even though you are still buying the petrol at that exorbitant cost, because subsidy was gone when it wasn't, right? The second lie, they said the second lie told by these charlatans was that the United Arab Emirates, this was the visa ban. There was no need for that lie. No need at all. Okay? But they still had to lie about it, only to come back to say, oh, we are sorry. That's not what happened. We lied. All right? Here is another one. Said the third lie told by this deceptive government is that Tinubu was the first African president to ring the NASDAQ bell. Now, like I told you, they love to put up a show, spectacle, where Tinubu will be the lead performer. You understand? So whatever he does, they have to clap, they have to laugh, they have to make it look like he's intelligent. It is a show, it is a spectacle. Now that's exactly what they put up at the New York Stock Exchange. So they came out for no reason to say he is the first African leader to ring a bell, the bell which ordinary dog, they ring bell, closing bell at the NASDAQ New York Exchange. So what, you know what they said when they came out, when they were caught? They said, okay, we are sorry. What happened was that the organizers of the event told us that Tinubu would be the first African president, and they did not bother to cross-check it. So they just told everybody like that. I won't worry. Here is another one. The fourth lie in 117 days. So when liars tell you something, you don't turn around and say, but let us wait and see. You don't wait and see, because whatever comes out of their mouth is pure lies. You will regret waiting to see. I'm still coming. Here is another one that Atifku's camp actually pointed out. They said another lie was a statement issued by Akuri Nigalailai on the 27th of August, where U.S. presidential envoy and Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs, Ambassador Molifi, was quoted as saying, in quotes, President Joe Biden is asking to meet with you on the sidelines of UNGA, United Nations General Assembly meeting, and you are the only African leader he has requested to meet. It is a mark of high regard for your leadership. That was what Akuri Nigalailai said. American ambassador, be under secretary, our assistant secretary, presidential envoy on African affairs. They said she brought a special invitation from Joe Biden because of his high regard for Kalu Pablo. So this was what Akuri Nigalailai said. Now, Kolu have spent over 1 week in America, and Joe Biden has avoided him like a contagion. There should be an explanation for that because it's a lie. I told you, you remember that day I was playing that video? The video where Akuri Nigalailai was telling the press conference inside the asshole rock, where he was saying Tinubu was going to meet chief executive of Apple, chief executive of General Motor, chief of executive of General Electric, chief Kinikon of Apple, chief Kinikon of Microsoft, president of this and that. And I said 80% of the nonsense he was saying were all lies. Sure, you remember? Oh yeah, waiting happen. No, why did Joe Biden avoided Kolu like Oni Warapa? Somebody will get Warapa. Ask your neighbor, what is Warapa? Tap your neighbor, what is Warapa? When you get that, people used to kind of avoid you. When you don't have it, you won't understand. However, it is a contagion. Going forward, there is another lie. They said the fifth lie was claiming by Tinubu on the floor of NASDAQ, where he stated that we have retooled the exchange rate to a reliable, dependable one-figure floating of the Naira. Hey, you are free to take in your money and bring out your money. But this is another lie from the pit of hell. The exchange rate on the I&E window is about 780 Naira to $1. In the black market, it is now over 1,000 Naira to $1, which simply means there is no single exchange rate in Nigeria, which is a lie. Then, besides, foreign airlines still have over $600 million fund stock in Nigeria. Tinubu therefore lied when he said, you are free to take in your money and bring out your money. The world knows. Atiku is now listing that as one big lie that the world knows. But as a born liar, as a career criminal, somebody who lied for a living, and he has made so much money from doing so, he has escaped so many jail for doing so, we never know when he's lying. It just comes as a pastime to him. Like that, habitual lying. Let's lie. In this 21st century, 2023, where everything is at your fingertip, everything is here now. Okay? If you wanted to be lied to, it is your fault. In today's time, in this day and time, ladies and gentlemen, if anybody is lying to you, it is your fault. Not when you have money to lose as well, or even your life. So Bokolu didn't care. He told the lie anyway. Another one, they said that on August 14, sixth lie, the Nigeria government said on its official Twitter handle that the Nigeria Air Force struck terrorist gathering at Kurebe in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. The government claimed that the terrorists were neutralized. Well, that was a lie, a propaganda that was sort of unveiled, or sort of exposed rather, by the Premium Times, which according to this, Premium Times has now revealed in its latest report that this is nothing but propaganda, as those who were killed were innocent civilians, so they buried the news. Terrorists killed 36 soldiers. They shot down one military helicopter. And the Nigeria government went back to kill civilians. Okay? And they claimed to have neutralized terrorists, which is a lie, a crime. It won't be the first time that the Nigeria Air Force, Nigeria military, they will coordinate a state-sponsored terrorism whereby innocent people are slaughtered and they call them terrorists. Okay? And in order to bury the news, any media or journalist that try to cover or expose that is considered exposing the state secrets, committing treason. And since they are criminals, who can tell what is a crime? What is crime? They have power now. that they can tell you what is crime and what is not a crime. So in this case, they can call you a criminal, a treasonable person who tried to cause problem in Nigeria. By then, you would probably be dead. If you are lucky, you'll still be alive to try and fight that. But you see, this state-sponsored terrorism is not new. And Atiku just mentioned one where they killed civilians, Nigerians, in Shiroro area. Civilians, oh, that is the state-sponsored terrorism, whereby Nigeria is known for. It all started under Bokuwari. It is still happening under Tinubu, just so you know. But they came out, they said they neutralized terrorists. Here is another one. They said as part of Bola Tinubu's propaganda program, the Central Bank of Nigeria said on September 6, 2023, that within 2 weeks, it would inject 10 billion US dollars foreign exchange, into the foreign exchange market to clear all of the forex backlog in 2 weeks' time. 14 days plus September 3rd. That should be them. They should have invested $10 billion in the Nigerian foreign exchange market in order to stabilize the falling naira. So if they have done that, naira would have possibly be around, even in black market, maybe around 600 naira by now. So they said 2 weeks. Today is the 24th of September. Excuse me. Today is 24th of September. That means if they had done it, they would have concluded that 2 weeks by the 17th of September. So that means they would have completed this process a week ago. But naira today is over 1,000 naira to $1. So they lied. Again, this is documented one by Atiku. I always kind of expose those lies on this program every night when I have the opportunity to remind you they cannot be trusted. Don't even try it. I'm not asking you to trust Atiku. I'm just telling you, right, that if you have anything at all to spare, it should be your life, the one that these criminals are going to take. Therefore, whatever they say cannot be taken beyond its face value. Trash. Here is another one. The 8th lie. They said in his inaugural speech, Tinubu said, in quote, "As your president, I shall serve with prejudice. With prejudice to none." But this has turned out to be another barefaced lie. Tinubu has been running a government of the clannish, by the clannish, and for the clannish. They are trying to point out the Yorubanization. Right. Okay, he lied. Of course he lied. He didn't lie to all of you who are non-Yorubas. He lied to the Yorubas too. There are Yorubas who believe that Emilokon. As a Yoruba, they have to stand with a Yoruba man. Today, a lot of them are regretting that or kind of feeling so ashamed of how things are turning out, that good government or whatever is beyond, whether it's from your tribe or your religion or whatever they are pushing. It is all about what they actually have to offer you. So if Atiku and Co are saying a lie to everybody that it wasn't going to be like Bokuwari, the Fulanization, so it wasn't going to do Yorubanization. Well, for your information, Atiku, even the Fulanization did not favor the Fulanis. Therefore, Yorubanization is not going to favor any Yorubas except their own friends, which is exactly what happened during Bokuwari's time. Yeah? Well, here is another one. They said last month, though, on the 9th lie, they said last month, the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, NLPLC Limited, PL, claimed they had obtained an Afrexim loan of $3 billion, with which it would help stabilize the naira. Okay? So, Atiku said they raised the alarm that it was all a ruse to deceive Nigerians. Now, according to him, he has been justified as the naira is now trading at over 1,000 naira. I mean, I said that too, that it was money for the boys, so they shared it. So Atiku is also saying it was a lie. It wasn't just a lie, it was a fraud. A fraud that generations are going to pay. The last one that Atiku listed as 10 lies of Tinubu in 117 days is this one. They said perhaps the biggest scams and deceit of Tinubu's administration was the Student Loan Act, which he signed on June 12, 2023. The new law provides loans for students' tuition only. It does not cover any other educational expenses. After the law was signed, all federal government schools began increasing school fees. But Dele Alakori, the special advisor on media, as he was then, or as he then was, said in a statement that tuition in all government schools remains free and that the only fees that were increased were accommodation, laboratory, library, and other costs. So, if tuition is free and the Students' Loan Act covers only tuition fee, that means the Student Loan Act is pointless and no money will be released. In essence, Tinubu's government has prodded government schools to increase school fees while no loans will be given to the students. This is the height of deception and wickedness. So whether you were one of those who were shouting, "My Lagos is my Lagos. My Lagos, not your Lagos. Yoruba Lokan. Tinubu this or that." Right now, I hope all the policies of Tinubu is rewarding your stupidity yet. I know there are so many people who have already given up. I'm talking about so many Nigerians that Nigeria has happened to. Majority of them are graduates, no jobs. Majority of them who even tried businesses, they have folded up. Majority of Nigerians who have become poorer, unable to fund and support themselves and their medical, bills. All of these people, I hope, èmi ló kàn, ẹ̀yin ló kàn, Yorùbá ló kàn, Yorùbá ronú, Yorùbá ponú. My Lagos is not your Lagos. This government will favor me and my family in Jesus' name. I hope they are working exactly as you expected. Not really mocking your stupidity. It is purely following the Yoruba proverb or adage or anything you want to call it, kó má pa mí. They said when the eye is producing the gooey, there's something called gooey. God damn it. It's called that dirty thing, yeah? That thing within your eye when you wake up in the morning. Right? So Yoruba says, tí ojú bá ń ṣe ìpín, when your eye is producing ìpín, it is always better to remove the ìpín and show the eye that it is doing something very, very nasty and dirty. It is just a reminder, right? It's called gooey. Is it called gooey or what did they call that thing again? Tell me, what's it called again? You know what I'm saying? What I'm actually pushing back to you, asking you that question, is very simple. Choices. have consequences. And when you make choices in life, indeed, you should be responsible enough to take responsibility for the consequences of such, decisions or choices you make. Right. This is your choice. Ẹ̀yin ló kàn, àwọn ló kàn. It's our turn. Go and hug transformer. Go and jump down from the bridge. Go to Third Mainland Bridge and do this to yourself. If you are not comfortable or happy with this APC, Egbekegbe, you can go to Togo, relocate to Lomé, bóyá Ghana ló fẹ́ lọ, or find a way straight down to Niger and leave Nigeria. Because according to them, asking them to do the right thing is a show of unpatriotism. We are unpatriotic. Okay? So I'm asking you, a gas, that's your cooking gas. I have heard you. I don't know what that simply means in practical form or in reality. They said it's going to go up by 800 naira. And indeed, to have that 12 kg cooking gas that you have mostly resorted to these days, you will be able to cough out over 18,000 naira of your money. Right? That is on you. Not just that. A lot of you are running helter-skelter everywhere right now, looking for that support, financial support. Listen to me. There is nothing wrong in seeking support when one indeed needs support. But everything is wrong when you give all your total support, your total backing, and you even turn to the backing dogs for these lunatics, for these criminals. A lot of you turned yourselves to social media bandits, Facebook adsmen, all because your choice is these criminals. Today, you are begging to pay for school fees. You are begging to pay the school fees of your own children. You are begging to stay extra month in that your own apartment there before they will kick you out and become homeless. A lot of you today are looking at your job. You look at your job is looking at you. You look at your job, it's looking at you. And somehow you are feeling like you are thankful to God. Oh, I see Damu see me. I see my job see me. God bless my job. God bless me. Because you can see your colleagues who are falling all through, who are falling by the way. They did nothing wrong. The policies of the criminals are taking everything away from you, little by little, little by little, and therefore your choice and the consequences of them. Do you understand what I just said? There is nothing wrong in making up or making your choices. Okay? Right? Everything is wrong when you make those choices for criminals who are going to turn your life upside down. Then you're going to turn around and say, I need help. No, you can't get that help. You shouldn't. That would sound so inhuman. Oh, Mayegun, you that is always preaching support and all of that. How could you say we shouldn't? No. There are some certain things that you need to know, which has become the norm. Nigeria reward bad behavior. Starting from the moment they have turned abnormalities to normalities. They have normalized abnormalities. They have now chosen never to be responsible for anything. Have you not noticed any? Somebody that is entrusted with money, for example, you are entrusted with money, not your money. It's not yours. Okay? And you're going to get paid. for managing it. Then you decided to start spending people's money. You know they're going to ask for it. As you are buying cars, you are buying for your different wives. You are buying houses. You are buying land. People are seeing you as rich. They are seeing you as somebody who is smart. You know, you are procuring things that are totally out of this world, never in the range of your earning. But they said you are smart, but you are stealing. Then you are caught. Why did you do this? Please forgive me. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I don't know what pushed me into all of this. What do you mean you don't know what pushed you into all of this? I'm so sorry. It's the work of the devil. Please forgive me. It's the work of the devil. Are you mad, Dini? The work of the devil. You don't spoil Ili Oba. You don't scatter entire Oba's kingdom. And you cannot even take responsibility. You are therefore blaming devil. You know something they said about Nigerians and the devil? They said when Nigerians are caught, whenever they were caught, and they have to put up lies, and they have to lie against the devil, that most of the time, even devil, they shock with the level of lies that people love to use in escaping responsibility. Why did you kill him? Why did you rape her? I mean, you are okay. You could have any woman you want. Why would you rape a child? What happened? I don't know. It was one woman when I was a young boy. It was a one woman, old woman in our village. The old woman cursed my mother and said all my mothers, Shomadini. Take responsibility for goodness sake. So the people in government in Nigeria, politicians and their lackeys, their vuselas and their ass lickers, they come from the flock of Nigerians. Nigerians, the leadership you see in Nigeria, they are the reflection of Nigerians themselves, where majority of us don't take responsibility. No, it's not me. It was the one who made me do it now. I wouldn't have done it. Trust me. Shebi, you know me very well. Shebi, you know me very well. Mrs. Musari, at least you can tell everybody about me now. You know that I'm a very clinical princess. At least you know me now. Innocent Obi, at least come and say it now. Shebi, you know me. You know I can never do this. It's the work of the devil. Please come and say it. I say, Mayegun, are you sure it's the work of the devil? Are you sure? Baba Gio, are you not the one who was telling us about taking responsibility? Mayegun, why can't you take responsibility? Hey, I'm the one, but you know, okay. What happened is that I'm not saying I didn't do it. I am just saying that, you see, it's because of Mayegun Dake, shut up. Take responsibility. If you can take responsibility, maybe, just maybe, from the regrets you get from that decision that led to you being so embarrassed, if you kind of take responsibility from that experience, you are never going to want to do it again. Do you understand that? Nigeria politicians, they are not ready to take responsibility for anything. Okay? Rather than them being punished for that irresponsibility, the irresponsible Nigerians, they reward them. So when you reward people who have failed, instead of punishing them, what do you do? I mean, what do you think you are doing? You are encouraging them. And that is what Nigeria represents. You encourage them. You don't want to take responsibility. They don't want to take responsibility. Majority don't want to. You are pointing fingers at your government. Very corrupt, very, very corrupt, very bad people. Your government is pointing fingers at you. Look at them. Very foolish people, ungrateful. Instead of them to be thanking us, they are always complaining. Instead of them to be praying for us so that we can do our job, they are always lamenting and ranting. Very ungrateful people. And then you will see their vuvuzelas. Honorable, you are so right, yo. We always take things for granted in this country. We always think we can just talk and talk and talk. We can, instead of us to come together and pray for these people, do you think it is easy to be governor? Those are their ass lickers. Irresponsible lords. Here you get. So you see people who are graduates, who should understand. You see, when you are graduates and you are jobless, there shouldn't be anybody smarter than you. And you know where your smartness will come from first. It is by probing the system. The system that sort of produced you, but at the same time, dump you because they don't need you. You are just a statistic. You are just a number in the scheme of things. So by the time you understand how they operate, you will put it upon, you would have to take it upon yourself to preach to other young people what this criminal enterprise represents, not find a space or a place where you self go get your own daily bread, your daily crumb from. They don't even give you bread. They give you crumbs. And that's the worst about poverty. Let's talk about poverty and what this does or what it has done. I remember some times ago, it was a Basket Mouth. You know that comedian, Basket Mouth? It was one of his jokes. You can say this was about maybe 15, 20 years ago. And I was still in Nigeria then. Okay? And I'm gonna, I just picked something here. So, and Basket Mouth was like making a joke about cigarettes. And they said, at the back of every pack of cigarettes in Nigeria, it is boldly written that it's like a bold one, a big one. Smokers are liable to die young. So it's to encourage smokers to stop smoking. Okay? So Basket Mouth was now talking about a survey or a kind of a report that was out at the time. And that report was the Nigeria Tobacco Company in Nigeria. They declared the biggest profit of their own ever existence in Nigeria that year. Nigeria Breweries, they also declared this massive profit that same year. Even though Nigerians were lamenting and complaining for the hardship. This was under Obasanjo. The hardship, economic hardship, no job, life is too hard, life is so this, people were lamenting, complaining. So Basket Mouth was now joking about how come that the tobacco industry where they want people from smoking, are smoking more and they are making more money. Why? How? So he now said, Nigeria is so frustrating. That was then, oh, that Nigeria was so frustrating that so many young people want to die. Now, what is the point? That when they go to Aboki, the Malam to buy cigarettes, they will say, hey, Aboki, give me that one, that die young one, that one that says die young, die young. And when they are smoking the die young, they are also drowning their frustration with the bottles of beer from the Nigeria Brewery. So in the life of the frustrated Nigerians, it was more money for the tobacco and alcohol industry. It was like a joke but it was a reality at the time. Die young, poverty. On this same, when things started getting worse and worse, and to what we have today, then we started hearing that there were people, young people, who were looking for where to sell their own organs.